Have you ever felt like you're trapped on a hamster wheel with your health? Running and running, but never really getting anywhere? That was me for years. Every Monday, I'd promise myself, this time will be different. I'd wake up early, lace up my shoes, and force myself onto the treadmill, even when my body ached with exhaustion. I'd dive into a new diet, fueled by hope and determination. The first few days always felt like a fresh start, measuring out meals, tracking every bite, and feeling a little spark of pride when the scale dipped down. But then life would happen. A friend's birthday, a stressful day at work, or just a craving that wouldn't let go. I'd tell myself, just this once, and before I knew it, I was elbow deep in a bag of chips, feeling the familiar sting of guilt. The next morning, shame would hit hard. I'd sit on the edge of my bed, replaying every mistake, feeling like I'd failed again. Sometimes I'd even throw out all my healthy food, convinced I'd never get it right. It was a roller coaster, quick wins, then crushing setbacks. I'd lose a few pounds only to gain them back, sometimes even more. The cycle felt endless, and every loop chipped away at my hope. The pressure to be perfect was suffocating. Every slip-up felt like proof that I just wasn't good enough. I remember tearing up my meal plan in frustration, convinced I'd never break free. I used to believe the problem was me, my willpower, my discipline, my character. I'd stare at my reflection, picking apart every flaw, wondering why I couldn't just stick with it like everyone else seemed to. But the real issue wasn't me. It was the all-or-nothing approach I kept falling for. I was either on or off, never allowing myself any middle ground. Extreme diets promised quick results, but always left me feeling deprived and disappointed. I'd lose weight fast, but the misery would catch up, and the pounds would return, sometimes with interest. Each failed attempt chipped away at my confidence. I started to wonder if lasting change was even possible for someone like me. I became obsessed with the number on the scale, ignoring how miserable I felt inside. My energy was gone, my joy was gone, and I felt completely alone in my struggle. It took hitting a real low, sitting alone in my kitchen late at night, feeling utterly defeated, to realize something had to change. I couldn't keep living in this cycle of hope and heartbreak. I started to imagine a different way, a way that didn't involve guilt, misery, or the constant fear of starting over. I wanted to enjoy food, connect with people, and feel good in my own skin. Breaking free from this cycle is possible. For me, it started with a shift in mindset, letting go of perfection, embracing self-compassion, and believing that real, lasting change was within reach. If you're stuck in the endless cycle, you're not alone. And you can break free too. My old routine? All in, all out, like a switch I couldn't control. I'd cut out carbs, sugar, and anything fun, eating dry, flavorless chicken and limp broccoli, forcing myself through grueling gym sessions until my muscles trembled. The scale would drop fast, and I'd feel on top of the world, my jeans fitting looser, friends noticing my shrinking frame. But late at night, the cravings would hit hard. I'd stare at the ceiling, my stomach growling, the smell of pizza from the neighbor's apartment making my mouth water. One small slip, like a donut at work, the glaze sticky on my fingers, would spiral into a full-on binge. Chips, cookies, anything I could find. I'd sit on my bed afterward, wrappers scattered around, my stomach aching with guilt and shame. The next morning, the scales number would sting like a slap. I'd feel defeated, slumped on the couch, promising myself I'd start over Monday. Again, my calendar was littered with day one scribbles. Every meal became a battle, staring at my plate, torn between hunger and fear. I'd glare at my reflection, picking apart every flaw. The initial buzz of quick results faded fast. Weeks later, disappointment would settle in as the weight crept back. I was trapped in a loop, pages of diet journals filled with crossed-out plans, frustration mounting with every failed attempt. I moved through my days on autopilot, eating alone, feeling numb and disconnected from everything, even myself. I realized this approach was unsustainable and miserable. I was tired of crying in the bathroom after another binge, tired of hating my body and my willpower. Something had to change. I needed a new way forward, a way to finally break free. My turning point came when I asked myself, can I do this for a year, 5 years? What about for the rest of my life? Suddenly, the idea of another crash diet lost its appeal. The answer was always no. No one wants to eat plain chicken forever, or skip every social event just to avoid bad foods. I stopped chasing quick fixes and started focusing on what I could actually sustain. That meant building meals I enjoyed, not just tolerated, and allowing room for treats. Letting go of the need for instant results was tough. I had to remind myself daily that real change takes time, and that patience was part of the process. My goal shifted from losing weight fast to building habits I could keep forever, like prepping lunches, walking after dinner, and tracking progress in a journal. I started thinking about my future self, someone who's strong, confident, and not obsessed with food rules. Moderation replaced extremes, and I learned to enjoy life's moments without guilt. A good enough diet I could stick to beat any perfect plan I'd quit. I realized it was okay to be flexible, and that consistency mattered more than perfection. This mindset shift, focusing on progress, not perfection, was the real secret to breaking the yo-yo cycle. It helped me bounce back from setbacks instead of giving up. It wasn't about a new diet. It was about a new perspective. Every daily choice became a step toward a healthier, happier future. Simplicity was my first step to sustainability, but I quickly learned that a little planning made all the difference. I built a small set of go-to meals I enjoyed. Nothing fancy, just easy and healthy. I made sure to rotate a few favorites to avoid getting bored. For breakfast, I alternated between oats with fruit, overnight oats, or a veggie omelette. Sometimes I'd blend a quick smoothie if I was in a rush. Lunch and dinner followed a simple formula: lean protein like chicken, salmon, or tofu, lots of veggies, and a complex carb like quinoa, brown rice, or sweet potatoes. Shopping and meal prep became effortless with a core list of ingredients. I always kept healthy snacks like Greek yogurt, nuts, and cut-up veggies on hand. Prepping a few basics on Sunday, like roasting veggies, cooking grains, and portioning proteins, made weekdays smoother and helped me avoid last-minute takeout. No forbidden foods, just balance and flexibility. I allowed myself a treat most days, like a piece of dark chocolate or a homemade dessert, which kept cravings in check. If I wanted pizza on Friday, I had it, then returned to my usual meals. Tracking my meals helped me stay mindful, not obsessive. Consistency, not perfection, drove my results. Eating at regular times, drinking plenty of water, and sticking to my routine, even on busy days, kept me on track. Eating well became a normal part of life, not a punishment. My biggest tip: find meals you love, prep ahead, and give yourself grace. That's what made consistency possible for me. The all-or-nothing mindset used to ruin me. I remember nights when I'd eat a whole bag of chips, then wake up feeling like I'd failed completely. That bad day would turn into a bad week, and I'd convince myself there was no point in trying. But over time, I learned to ditch the labels. There are no good or bad days, just days. Some meals are healthier than others, and that's okay. I started to see each day as a new opportunity, not a verdict on my willpower. I remember one weekend when I went out with friends, ate pizza, and had dessert. The next morning, instead of punishing myself, I made a balanced breakfast and went for a walk. That small act of moving forward, without guilt, was a turning point. Consistency over time matters more than any single meal. One indulgence doesn't undo your progress. I started to celebrate the days I bounced back, not just the days I got everything right. There were setbacks, like the time I skipped workouts for a week or ate mindlessly during a stressful project. But each time, I practiced resilience. I'd pause, forgive myself, and take one small step forward. My inner dialogue changed from self-criticism to self-compassion. This habit kept me moving forward, not starting over. Progress became about bouncing back, not being perfect. Each time I got up after a setback, I built a little more resilience. Over the year, these small recoveries added up. That's how real change sticks, by moving forward one imperfect day at a time. I used to see exercise as punishment for what I ate, dragging myself to the gym with a sense of dread. Grueling workouts left me feeling defeated and made me want to avoid moving altogether. Everything changed when I started exploring movement that actually made me happy, like peaceful walks in the park, gentle yoga flows that helped me breathe deeper, or short strength sessions that left me feeling strong instead of drained. I began to look forward to lacing up my sneakers, marking off each day I moved, and feeling a sense of accomplishment, not exhaustion. Short, manageable workouts, like dancing in my living room or stretching after work, fit my life and left me energized and genuinely happier. Exercise became a celebration of what my body could do, feeling my muscles work, laughing through a dance routine, or simply enjoying the rhythm of my breath. The more I found joy in these moments, whether walking with friends, joining a fun group class, or moving to music, the more consistent I became. Movement transformed from a dreaded chore into a source of joy, connection, and self-respect, something I now truly look forward to every day. The biggest shift was changing how I saw myself. I stopped identifying as someone who always failed at diets. Instead, I started building the identity of a healthy, active person, one small action at a time. Every healthy meal, every workout, every quick recovery from a slip was a vote for my new self. Over time, these actions changed my self-image. Healthy choices became automatic, not forced. I focused on behaviors, not just outcomes. I celebrated small wins like cooking at home, moving my body, or even just pausing to make a mindful choice. My new identity made healthy living feel natural. It wasn't about restriction, but alignment with who I wanted to be. Brick by brick, I built a new foundation, layering habits, mindset shifts, and self-compassion. I became someone who enjoys a balanced, healthy life, supported by daily habits, a positive mindset, and celebrating every small victory along the way. After a year of living these new habits, my weight finally stabilized. And for the first time, it stayed that way month after month. No more dramatic drops or rebounds, just steady, normal fluctuations. I celebrated small milestones, like my first month without binging, and the first time I enjoyed a holiday meal without guilt. I found my body's happy place, feeling strong and confident. Each week I noticed new victories, running a little farther, lifting a bit more, or simply waking up with more energy. The biggest change was mental. I was free from food guilt and diet obsession. There were tough days, like resisting old urges to restrict or overeat, but I learned to pause, breathe, and show myself compassion. Eating out or enjoying cake became normal, not a crisis. I overcame the fear of social situations and learned that one meal wouldn't undo my progress. My habits ran on autopilot. Healthy meals and daily movement were just part of life. Planning ahead helped me stay consistent, even when motivation dipped. I stopped fighting my body and started working with it. Mindfulness and gratitude became anchors during stressful moments. The stress and anxiety disappeared, replaced by peace and empowerment. I found joy in simple routines and quiet moments. The real win wasn't weight loss, it was a better relationship with myself. I forgave my past mistakes and celebrated how far I'd come. I finally broke the cycle, not with more discipline, but with kindness and patience. This year taught me that true freedom is possible, and it's worth every step. If you're tired of yo-yo dieting, it's time to think long-term. Imagine where you want to be in 6 years, not just 6 weeks. Ask yourself, is your plan something you can see yourself doing for life? If not, it's time to rethink your approach. Lasting change comes from small, repeatable habits. not quick fixes. Start with one simple habit like a daily walk or adding an extra serving of veggies to your meals. Master that habit, then build on it. Layer in another healthy change when you're ready. Progress may feel slow, but every step forward counts and creates a foundation that lasts. Be kind to yourself. Setbacks are normal. Use them as learning moments, not reasons to quit. Consistency, not perfection, is what leads to real change. Resilience is your superpower. Get back on track quickly, no matter how many times you stumble. Make your lifestyle enjoyable. Choose foods and movement you genuinely love. When healthy living feels good, it becomes second nature. Set personal goals that excite you. Maybe it's running a 5K, cooking more at home, or simply feeling more energetic each day. Write down your goals, track your progress, and celebrate every small win along the way. Invite others to join you. Support and community make the journey easier and more fun. Remember, this is your journey. Build a lifestyle that fits you, brings you joy, and supports your future. You have the power to create lasting change, one step, one habit, one day at a time. Your future self will thank you.